Good morning, y'all. It is Sunday morning. It's May 7th, and it is fabulous out here. It is 71 degrees. It feels amazing. The sun's going to be shining today. I just heard the church bells, and I hope it shows up on video. I'm not sure if it will or not, but I stood very still. And I was going to show y'all how I water my garden. We've had a couple of rain showers, so I don't really have to water today. But I did video what was happening when I did have to water it sometime last week, and I was going to show you how I water my pots today and just show you some other things. So come along with me. Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Rachel, and I'm gardening for butterflies and for myself on the Alabama Gulf Coast in Zone 9A. And if you don't know what your zone is, what you can do is you can just go online, type in your zip code, and type gardening zone. And it will tell you what it is. And you might be surprised where you fall on the map. If you're just looking at the map and trying to decipher, sometimes you could be on the edge and you wouldn't really know. So do that and see where you are, because it's kind of revealing. But I garden mostly in containers because I'm having to deal with armadillos. And believe me, we have done everything that we could possibly do to try to keep armadillos out of our garden. But there's a million of them. There's a jillion of them. And if we get rid of one, another one takes its place. It's a kind of an impossible situation. So I'm making the best of it by gardening in containers. So let me show you what we're doing. Yesterday I went to Ace Hardware and I got some pine nuggets, and I guess they're kind of the medium size. I got 10 bags of them, and I thought, oh, this is crazy. This is going to be like too much. I won't be able to use them all. I'll have to store them in bags. But no, I used them all, and then I didn't even have enough. But I kind of put them around the bases of the pots, because when it rains, like the dirt and sand and stuff was like splattering up onto the pots and just kind of making them look ugly and dirty. So that's what I've done to just kind of try to keep the containers pretty. And the containers in the seating area are just looking so good. I'm still waiting for things to bloom. This container is the most perfectly formed, I think. If it would just bloom. I really like how everything's filling in kind of evenly. I did pinch back some of this this Thai basil so that it would give space to all the plants. This is stock. I've never grown it before, and it's just, look, it's so close to blooming, and it should be purple or pink. And then this lemon ball sedum is flowing out of the side. Is that not just the cutest? Listen, once you get lemon balm sedum, you can have it forever. I mean, it grows so easily from just pinching some off and sticking it somewhere else, and it just will grow. But then I wanted to show you, ooh, on this side, I've got Nigella, Love in a Mist. And see, look, it is about to also bloom. And I forgot that I had actually left the my little tag in here, because I started those from seed. So this mystery plant right here from last week is actually a blue daisy, and look, it's opening up. I can't tell if it's been eaten on, but look at the color of it. Is that not just phenomenal? Oh Lord, I hope it gets to bloom. Look at all these blooms. Look at that. Won't that be gorgeous if it's allowed to bloom and not eaten to pieces? And these cuttings of this Amistad that I had, and they looked like they were about to die, so then I put in some lemon coral sedum in there with the thing, because I thought that and then look, they lived, and they're just, I have 3 of them in these pots I did not expect to have at all. And you know, these things can grow 5 to 6 feet, so I'm going to really have to pinch this back hard. But what's also cool about it is, one of the reasons why I wanted to have these pots around the seating area is so that I could sit here and draw in the hummingbirds and the butterflies to where I am, because I like to sit and look at the garden, but I also want to have, you know, those beauties come to me. So it was kind of, this is like sitting over a baited field right here. Okay, so this is my little water wand that I water things with, and it's got on the head, you've got different choices of what you can use for different jobs, you know. And I've got it on cone because several of these, I think I've damaged the head and they don't really work anymore. So I think I used to use like shower or something like that, but it doesn't work. So now I use cone, and I'll show you what that looks like. Ooh, let's see if I can, all right. Oh, man, okay. So here's the amount of water that comes out, and sometimes I'll lessen it. But for a pot like this, I've got, I put it in here, and you can see that I have put in, and I think this is just like the regular pine bark mulch, and I will put it about to mid speed and hold in there, and I will count to 30 because this is a big pot. So I count to 30 and I'll hold it down on this side, and then I'll bring it on to the other side and try to put it somewhere where it won't disturb roots, and I might even lessen the flow, and I'll count to 30 on this side. So I like to give it a minute's worth of water, but if I lessen the flow, you know, I might give it more. And when it gets to be summertime, I will probably water these at least every other day. And then when I water little pots, I will do it for like 30 seconds and just hold it in there and count to 30 and watch everything. I wanted to show y'all how I water in the morning. I come out here at 5 and I turn these sprinklers on. I've got 2 of them. They're just, you know, little. And I arrange them so that they'll just water the part that's under the rose arbor. Now these pots, like the 2 pots right there with the globe basil and the lavender, and these garden pots, I hand water because it would be a waste to put the sprinkler on that. Here's the other sprinkler in action. We have a well, and this is well water that is coming out of the pump to water the back garden. Whenever I water the front yard, that's just regular city water. But this right here is actually well water, and you might be able to hear the pump going. There used to be a sprinkler system, and it's inside this little house thing right here, but it's not hooked up anymore. So that's why I just have to use the sprinklers. Now I'll run this for about an hour and a half, but this is only going to be good enough while it's relatively cool. The highs are about 76 this week, I think, and you know, this will be good enough. But once it starts getting up into the 90s, I'll have to come out and hand water the pots, deeply water them. And usually what I do is I'll hold the hose down in the pot for about between 30 seconds to a minute for each pot, depending on the size of the pot. I'm pretty sure that I showed y'all this before, but that verbena, that darling verbena, it grew from seed into the like kind of weed grassy area. And look, I have some right here. I need to dig it up and rescue it, but here it is. So I did not know, I don't know what the seeds look like even. So I had it last year, and then it just happened to grow out into my little weedy / grassy area. And I dug up several of them and put them in pots. And some of them are the ones that are over here with the diamond frost euphorbia, which now you can see these pots, everything's starting to get a little bunched up, and I'm gonna have to like pull them out and give them a little bit more room, because I mean, I do like it when I can hardly see the containers, but you know, I want them to have space and air to grow bigger, because bigger is always better, you know. Now with this sedum right here, it's getting scraggly and gross. I've got to come in here and like cut that way back, because that's just looking kind of sad and icky. But I feel pretty confident that it can bounce back, because that stuff, it loves to live here. Loves it. And look, I've got so many roses and buds coming out. Oh, that is just really, really exciting. I still, of course, you can see I have not tied anything up or tried to make this conform to the rose arbor at all. I have just, I haven't had time. I really haven't. I'm barely hanging on, y'all. So on this path, I haven't even talked about it yet. I had frog fruit growing here last year, and so I've been letting it, of course, grow and get crazy because I love it. And it is a larval host plant for butterflies. I think it's the buckeye. Here, look at these cute little flowers. Are they not adorable? And I'm loving how it's all filling in between the stones. And look, I've got some volunteer coral nymph salvia that has managed to, doesn't this look just so magical down here? It's managed to live and not get dug up by the armadillos. This creeping Jenny, maybe some people don't like it. Maybe they think it gets a little too crazy and it takes too much advantage of its situation. I love it. I can never have enough, because what I love about the creeping Jenny is, it just brings lightness. It just makes it look brighter, and it just defines the space a little bit more. I am going to plunk it in anywhere, tuck it in anywhere I want it. I want it to be like coming out of containers, flowing over the edges of things. It doesn't, I'm not really afraid. The only thing that I've ever really been afraid of taking over the garden was that apple mint. I would not recommend that ever to anyone ever again. I mean, I'm afraid of that for sure. Once the honeybees find this agastache, it is just on. They are, I'm wondering what agastache honey tastes like. I bet it is incredible. But these little plants are just covered in happy little buzzing honeybees from, as soon as they flower until forever. I want to come down here and show you this gorgeous verbena. I'm loving it so much. Is this not incredible? I wish I'd gotten more of these. Of course, you know what? I couldn't, because when I was at the store, they only had 2. So I'm so glad that these 2 are behaving the way they are. Just, isn't that just phenomenal? Next year I want a jillion of these, of course. It's always a jillion. But I did put mulch down here, so it's looking a little bit better. And gotta show y'all, the dahlias are just so gorgeous that it hurts. I gotta show y'all the dahlias from this direction. I guess they kind of like to face the sun. And don't they, I can't. I don't know why I thought that they were going to be like too much trouble. I'm crazy. Now I must have more. And here is that Bishop of Canterbury finally blooming. Isn't it just a beauty? And doesn't it look great with these zinnias and this agastache and this purple millet? And the purple millet and the Bishop of Canterbury, they go together, with the kind of coloration. It's just such a fun combo right there. Last week, we went to Walmart after church, and I saw a buddleia that was called Butterfly Candy. And I just kind of walked past it, and I didn't get it. And listen, it haunted my dreams for the rest of the week. And my husband went to Walmart yesterday, and he asked me if I wanted anything. And I was like, get me some of that butterfly candy. And thank God they still had it. I just couldn't imagine that anyone would have not gotten it when they saw it like I had. been kicking myself for not getting it, but look at it. Isn't it the cutest thing? I'm gonna read the tag this time. You know, this time I've learned my lesson to find out how big it's gonna get so that I can gauge the size of the pot that it needs to go in. But look, I'm finally getting all the pink that I wanted, y'all. So much pink, and it is just thrilling me. And see this pink agastache right here? Look at the foliage. Look, it's got a little bit of a pinkish, you know, it's not showing through as well as it does in real life. It looks more green in this video, but it's got a kind of blush color to it and gray. So I'm just loving these three things together. That coneflower and this buddleia, and oh, I don't know if y'all can hear it in the video, but the buzz of the happy bees is just filling the air, and it's so fun. Now, something that's happening with my coral nymph salvia in this pot and that pot and in another pot, they're starting to turn yellow, and I'm not sure if it's because they don't have enough plant food, they've outgrown their plant food, or if they've just kind of outgrown their lives, or if they're crowding each other. You can see right there, because this is probably maybe 4 or 5 plants in one container, because they just came up from seed and I just let them go. So I'm probably, if I have time, going to try to get them out, separate them, repot them. Look at this. I'm guessing this is cafe au lait. And isn't it just the loveliest? And look at this. I gotta show you how big. Oh, doesn't it just look like it's glowing? It looks like it's electrified. That is such a fun dahlia. If y'all want to see, uh-oh, there's a mosquito on my hand. If y'all want to see what dahlias I have, what I did is on Pinterest, that's where I keep track of everything. I don't take do journal. There's a mosquito that I got to kill, but I don't journal. I'm very visual, so what I do is on Pinterest, I've made boards and keep track of things that I want to buy for the garden and for plants that I'm already planting. And I've got a board that's got all the dahlias that I planted this year in it. So it's got a picture of them and it tells what they are. And you know, I'm just Gulf Coast butterfly gardening on Pinterest also. I'm so surprised that I think this borage is going to flower. This might be the only one I get, because borage likes cool weather and we are about to come to the end of that. And so I'm glad it decided to flower now, even though it's really short and piddly, because this is about all the chance it's going to get. And I've got some Gora over here that's just looking so cute. I just love the way it just looks like little floaty butterflies. And look at this. Shocking. I'm about to have some blooms on this Russian sage. I can't believe it's making it. And it looks happy. That's really the first time I've managed that. Now that the sun is coming out, it's about to kind of blow out all the colors. And everything's going to get just a little too bright to even video. But this agastache right here, I put it in too small of a pot, and I've had to re-water it like over and over again. I'm going to show you how small the pot is. I think it's probably like a 14-inch pot, and you can see it's like 4 feet tall. It really needs at least a 16-inch pot. And I always am in denial about how big the plants are going to get. When they're so little, I'm like, I can stuff, 4 or 5 things into this thing. And then, then they outgrow it. And then I have to repot it. So it's really just making extra work for me. Oh, y'all, but look at this. Zinnias, Salvia leucantha, and princess flower. Doesn't that just look like it is plugged into a socket? And look how magical this backlighting is for this agastache. Just, oh, so pretty. I gotta admit something right here. I have made a huge mistake with this hyacinth bean vine. I put this tiny little thing. That is laughable. This thing is going to get massive. So I'm going to try to unwrap it from this and move this pot, because that's where it's growing, to the back, so that it will have plenty of space to grow on that fence, because it will probably grow 20 to 30 feet long. And I don't know what I was thinking. I just, that's the problem. I can't judge sizes. I can't judge space or size or anything. And this is the view from the guest bedroom window, which is just so yummy. I mean, it is just an impressionist painting of colors and textures. Oh gosh, it just thrills my little heart. And then from up high with the sunshine through it, it starts to kind of look a little messy. Oh, I hear some hummingbirds. Yesterday, once again, we had like 6 of them just getting crazy out here. Look how magical the bog garden looks like with the sun shining on the dew. So sparkly and gorgeous. Oh, look, let me zoom in on this sundew, because now this is also a carnivorous plant, and when the little bugs come and land on it, they get stuck, and then the plant digests them. Isn't that cool? Oh, really, really fun. So everything seems like it's going to survive here. And then look at my little pitcher plant with the sun. You can see let me see if I can zoom in. You can just see the beginnings of the little pitchery thing happening. All my seedlings on the back side of the garden seem to be doing well. I've got to get some more pots for them. Some special pots for my blue bonnets. They're gonna make it. It's amazing. And there's something that just loves to eat coneflower. And I think those are coneflowers. No, daisies. Green-eyed daisies. I don't know what it is, but something is just tearing these things up. Luckily, well, it's a miracle. I can't believe it. They have not given up, and they've been able to make it through all the chomping. And then this sensitive plant even may make it. This hydrangea is one that I propagated from cuttings from my hydrangeas in the front. And it's just looking so healthy and happy right here. Way better than the ones in the front are looking. And I've got a Gertrude Jekyll rose that has opened. Oops, the sun is so bright. But these, I'm so excited. I'm going to have so many. Oh my goodness. Look at this. My first little Love in a Mist flower. And it's pale blue. And this plant it's back here. It's not in a pot, and I'm so shocked that the armadillos have not dug it up. But that's gonna be so cool if it can make it, and that'll just be popping up in between the salvia. What a fun combination. Okay, y'all. So far, the lavender's still looking good. Whenever I see, let me show you, anything turning brown, it scares me. I don't know if that's normal, or because here's what has happened in the past. Even when I kept something alive, it would start turning like brown at the base right here, and then it just would creep up until it was brown all over and dead. See that brown leaf? That's in the middle, so maybe it's just natural. I don't know. I will sniff it. Oh, but I got another lavender since I was so just encouraged by this one living. I got another lavender. This is a Godwin Creek lavender, and I had one, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I had one and I planted it in a spot where I thought it would get sun, but it didn't. It got like afternoon shade, and it held on and was scraggly and sad, but it didn't die. It never flowered either. But so this one, I love the color of it, don't you? It's that's that gray green. I love any chance to get that in the garden. So I'm going to also pot this up the same way. I'm going to put half grit in the compost. In the potting soil, half grit, like rocks and gravelly stuff. And then I am also going to mulch it with rocks, and I'm going to keep it outside of my area where the sprinkler gets, and I'm going to hand water it less than anything else. And I'm just going to baby it, and hopefully I can keep it alive. The gravel garden is still alive. My husband pressure washed the sidewalk, and one of the little bush basils kind of got not destroyed. Maybe it can bounce back, but aren't these looking cute? So cute. And if they grow out to the size that they should like kind of fill in. And then the salvia leucantha all survived, even the one that was dug up by the armadillo. That's this one. I threw a bunch of zinnia seeds out earlier in the season, and so there's a bunch of zinnias back there that are growing, and maybe they'll make it. So this could turn out to be pretty. Right now it's seriously a hot mess, but so what? Earlier this week I followed a very ornery monarch butterfly as I tried to video it laying eggs, because I have a bunch of milkweed growing up all freely seeded in the front yard. I've decided to make my front yard like just a natural area, and you can see this thing is being attacked by some aphids, but it's okay. It'll be better. But I need to go on a monarch egg hunt and collect them so that I can raise another batch of monarch butterflies, because I did see some eggs on one of my milkweeds. I didn't have time to go out there and collect them, and then I went back a few days later and they had actually already hatched, and there was evidence that there had been caterpillars, but those wasps had eaten them all. My beautyberry bush that was planted by either deer or birds or I don't know who in my front yard has made a comeback. It got eaten down to a nub by the deer, and I'm so thankful to have it because I wanted one. And look, it is probably 6 feet wide and about 4.5 feet tall, and I'm just so thankful for this. God just gave it to me. He knew I wanted it, and he was like, here, I'm gonna put it in your front yard. How about that? And I said, thank you, God, that's so sweet. My husband named this bird house Gandor's house, and we thought a bird would, move in, but actually there is somebody living in it, and I will show you who it is. So this is a birdhouse, and my husband named it Gandor's house. I just never expected a lizard to be living in it, and that's just what I found. He's being shy right now. Doesn't want to look out. Who knew that Gandor was going to be a lizard? I hope y'all can hear the happy buzzing of all the little bees and pollinators who are loving this agastache, and really just the whole garden. The garden is just a buzz with activity, and it just makes me so happy to hear them enjoying themselves. And I think they're coming all the way over from Gulf State Park, so they're going back there and they're telling their friends, come back and get some of this goodie. But y'all, I love hearing from y'all from all over the world. It's too cool. And I'm so thankful that y'all are getting outside, playing in the backyard, and enjoying the springtime, or if you're in the other hemisphere, the fall. But God bless y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful week, And I will talk to you soon. Thank you.